Taishan Dong is a 7-foot boxer with an 84-inch reach. He recently is 3-0 his professional career. He came from China. He has one of the best nicknames I've ever heard for anybody in sport, and that is the Great Wall.
Yeah.
And when you see this man,
he is
a great wall.
Yeah, now, I love for one, ESPN's description of him is like amazing. I'd love for someone to write this about me. Francis Maxwell, just imagine my description was this guy's body of a Greek god, they say, fist like medium-sized cannonballs. So he's humongous. He stands at 7 foot tall, 280 pounds, which is pretty good for a guy that's 7 foot tall. I mean, there has been many boxers that I'm going to touch on in a little bit that are heavier than this and are not as mobile, but he's humongous. He's like ripped to shreds, and he's very mobile for a big boxer. So
he's got.
What do you know about him?
So here's what I know. He's got 3 inches greater reach than Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko, who is the reigning heavyweight champion of the world. Which again, though, he's got height on Klitschko because Klitschko's not 7 feet.
No, he's not.
No. And when you watch the 3 professional fights that I've watched, and he knocked out the 2 other guys, and he fought Roy McCrary this weekend or this past week of recent. He moves faster than you would expect. The one thing I always will rate any 7-footer to is Shaq, basketball Shaq, because he had the unique ability that he had the size and stature. How could you stop a guy? But a lot of it comes down to how can you move your feet? Are you athletic enough? Can you move in a fluid enough motion that you will not be clumsy or awkward on the court? And the same in the ring. And when you watch this guy fight, he's got very impressive footwork. But there's a lot of work to be done. He's three professional fights. That's such a young age, and don't forget, when you get these 7-footers, these guys with these, and I want to say abnormally large, because 7 feet's abnormally large, there usually tends to be extra complication, knees, back.
And that's a good point you brought up, because I want to talk about the other 7-foot that probably boxing enthusiasts in the United Kingdom would be aware of, Nikolai Valuev, who fought against David Haye, a popular British boxer. And Valuev stood at 7 foot 1 inches, but in the ring he couldn't compete with David Haye because David Haye was far too fast for him. He just moved way slow. It was literally David versus Goliath. That was the name of the fight, and he was just for a big guy. He had some power, of course. He had some power, but he had no speed at all, and all he could offer was just the sheer destruction of his punches. Whereas from what we're understanding in this boxer's instance, he's pretty mobile, and his jabs, what you expect from 84-inch reach. I mean, I'm no expert here, but I do understand boxing. And then 84-inch reach, like, to try and cock that back and forth quick and speed.
From where you're sitting, if you had an 84-inch reach, you might be able to hit me.
Yeah, might be. That's if you look at one of his latest knockouts, he's standing a good distance away from his opponent, but he's able to deliver that jab at speed, which is a difference between some of the former 7-footers that we've seen, and that's why I think he's going to be really dangerous.
Yeah, and he could be. There's a lot of work to be done, and this is somebody absolutely worth following. Just because, again, as many people have cited, that boxing is a dying sport. These are just the facts, and I only say that to people who aren't boxing enthusiasts. Like, I'm a big boxing fan. I'll watch boxing my entire life and be happy to follow the sport, including all the fights that are coming up. Adrien Broner's coming up. Another great boxer to watch. And
I must reiterate, I mean, I talked about Valuev there, who was a big 7-footer, and he moved a little bit slower, 7 foot 1 actually, but he did have a successful career, 53 fights, 50 wins, only 2 losses, and one of them was David Haye in that memorable fight. But if this boxer can have any sort of success like Valuev, then I'm guessing he's going to have a successful career. And Valuev, as we know, was a doctor beforehand, like Vladimir Klitschko. I just think that one day they're like, I'm done practicing, I'm now going to start knocking some people out. Vladimir Klitschko, PhD in sports science.
Well, they have an understanding of at least how the body works.
Body works, exactly.
So that could actually, it comes to the smarter you are at your sport, the more intelligence you have in your sport.
Yes.
Of course, it's going to help you be a better athlete in general, and better at your sport of boxing. Just reiterating the same point. But what's interesting too is, and I'm not sure if his promoter, Taishan's promoter, would ever put him in a ring with someone, let's say, that's 6 feet tall. But if he were to go against someone who's a lot faster than him and smaller, a jab combo type fighter, a Pacquiao, and that would never happen. But again, there's going to be breeds of fighters that are similar to how Pacquiao fights, in and out, in and out. How do you protect your body? Because they can't. If you can't, I'm just imagining someone with a reach too small that they actually can't reach his head.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what goes down to the old saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, you know what I mean? And it's because with him, he's got such... You don't have to be,
his biceps are enormous.
You don't have to be like a boxing enthusiast or expert to understand that 7 foot, you've got a larger body mass to hit. it's a bigger target. So the better fighters would definitely expose that and go for the body more, because, I mean, for me, I don't know, some of these boxers we know 6 foot and 6 foot and up is still a good height to be a heavyweight boxer, but to try and punch a 7 foot consistently is going to be strenuous on your arm, definitely for height weight. So body punches are the way to go. So we'll be able to see in the future if you can handle body punches.
You can't get an impactful enough force to punch at a straight angle.
Exactly.
I mean, like, it's just not how you're trained.
So you have to just go in with the Rocky Balboa.
Of course, I mean,
how many times are going to come back to
every time we do a boxing clip, he's going to make a Rocky Balboa reference. Therefore, Sylvester Stallone, you are, of course, welcome to come on.
Please do and talk about it for us. So we want to know what you guys think. What do you think of this? Is he the future of boxing? Standing at 7 feet tall, pretty mobile, wicked jab on him. Check it out. Leave your comments in the section below. And don't forget to... You looking at him? He's up there. Don't forget to subscribe.